The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the QATV staff or board of directors. QATV, in compliance with FCC regulations, is prohibited from exercising control over the content of independent, member-produced public access programming.
Welcome again. Thank you. This is Isha.
And this is Sophie.
Today we are talking on unity, women's unity. So it's not just unity or we're united as all, but I have noticed it's a very hard, very difficult subject because women, it seems, cannot get united. We have a boys club which is performing excellent over the years. In every field you see, they are united, they don't backbite, they are on their way. When it comes to women, we want equality, we want all of that, but then we are not united. You know, you walk into any kind of a club, either they are looking at you or they are ignoring you or they are talking to you and they're backbiting. So whether it's a workplace, it's the same issue. So Sophie and me thought we are going to speak something about being united. And you know, Sophie, I looked everywhere to find an article on unity on women. Believe me, I couldn't find a single one of them. What a subject.
I know. I couldn't find anything at all. And I was, in fact, asking my sister the same thing. I says, I cannot find anything except about religion. And, it was like really odd that we cannot find anything on unity. But what it is, I think women, if you can focus on something, like any issue, then we all stand behind it. But if we don't have an issue, like if we don't have some sort of subject, then we're not united.
But you said that if you have a subject, we're
Yes.
going to stand united.
Right.
But that's where I have the point. Like we have a subject, we want to be united. Let's say that a quarter of the people are proceeding on that subject.
Right.
The second half is trying to get that quarter back because they want to go ahead. Like, they want to be noticed. They want to be the ones who's speaking. So what happens is when it comes to the main mission, we are not getting it accomplished.
No, I completely agree with that because I think we have so much competition with each other that we forget sometimes that if we are united, it becomes more easier, but we don't agree on anything to agree on.
That's right. But the point is, why are we so, why aren't we, yes, why are we so split? The reason is we are insecure. So in general, I would say that if you commonly see, then women are very insecure. Let's say Sophie goes ahead and she achieves her goal before me, then how I'm going to bring Sophie back, When does that happen? When you're insecure. But if you're secured like the men, each one of you bring what you have on the table, and each one of you proceed for a progressive mission, and you achieve it, whether be it a company, whether be it's a startup, whether be it's any kind of, anything, you proceed. But with women, the bottom line is insecurity.
It's competition. It's plain and simple. It's plain and simple. It's just competition, and I find that it is all the time. Like you go out and everybody's looking up and down at you, or you're looking up and down at somebody else. Like we don't need to do that. Why are we doing that? What are we searching for? We want to be open to all the women and see why are we so insecure? Why do we need approval? Are we looking for approval all the time?
That's right. That's the second word. One is insecurity. The second is approval. Now, why do we need approval of society or of other women? If you're an individual, you be who you are. You bring yourself out on the table. You present yourself the way you are. And that way you have your originality that comes out, your original ideas, your creativity. Now, if you try to copy the rest, you just become one of them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have something which is so special, if I have something that's so special, and whether you have in your house something so special, all of us bring that. So I think we can, whether it be the election, whether it be start a business, whether it be a meeting for the children, or a play, what do you call those, mothers go play with their children?
Right, play. Yeah,
the play hours. Yeah. Everything is achievable. But even if you, over there you say, well, I am fat, I am thin, I am pretty, I am ugly, I am uneducated, I am educated, what happens is, why are you judging? What's the reason? Why are you wasting the time investing these precious moments for judging and destroying the moments?
I guess we need a goal. If we have a goal, then we can achieve that. I think all the women can achieve that. But if we, we have to let go of our, I don't know, like a self-conscious, we're so self-conscious of whatever we are doing. And if we let go, if we try to achieve, to get together or do something, I think, humankind will be a lot better place with women in charge.
I definitely think so. What normally happens at all times, you will see we have bright ideas. We are really good in everything. We multitask, whether be it on the board or whether be it at home. We are kind. We are mothers, we are sisters, we take care, we are caretakers. So we bring out our best, but the only minus point in all of our women, which I have found, is we are not united. So we are unable to achieve nothing. And it has nothing to do with the men. They make it like it's a men and women issue. It has nothing to do with a men and women issue, because men are confident, they are secured, they want to help each other because they see the long vision. They have a vision and they see long term. Whereas women, on the other hand, they are backbiting, they are insecure, they have no confidence, and instead of building the pyramid, they destroy it much before it's built. And we have to influence this even in our youngsters, because this is like a culture that flows. I would say, like, mothers do not graduate high school. It's that same story, what they did in the high school, because you're younger, they carry it along. And this is the same psychology they bring into the school system, or they bring it into the workplace.
It just carries on. And I really do think sometimes men have a role to play in it too. I don't think it's just a woman. I mean, it is basically, your mom, you're staying at home, you're looking after the kids, or whether you're working, you still go out, you still come back, you have to cook, you clean, and basically it all falls back on the woman. So I think a woman does have a lot on her shoulders, a lot of burden that she carries, whereas a man, he's concentrating on his career, and he doesn't have any of those issues that a woman does. So I think that does also come into play, and we cannot forget that does come into play. But I really do, think that if we had the encouragement as when we were young, and encourage our children to do their best, I think that will probably help us to be united, or help us not to be so so at each other, oh, she did that, and she that, that person did that. Why can't we just be happy and encourage other women to do their best as they can?
It's I kind of agree with you, and I kind of not agree with you. But like you mentioned, that men focus on one issue, which you're 100% right, only on their work. Whereas women multitask, so they are stressed. Now, this has been going on forever, but that also makes them wonderful managers, excellent governors,
Oh, definitely, because they bring in the compassion, they bring in the sympathy, they have that empathy with people. So they bring all that into it, and fully well also managing whatever they
can accomplish.
Exactly.
But what is stopping them from not accomplishing with such qualities? They are multitasking, they are great in everything, like you said, empathy, sympathy, kindness, support, multitask, strength, willpower, you name it, women have it. But they are not accomplishing in a united way. And the only reason is you know, they are carrying the stress. That is so true. They are carrying this whole stress. But if they do, I would also suggest that they can have support from other women. But when can that support come? When there's no insecurity in other women. Because if you're aiming to become a CEO, for example, or the leader of an organization, when you have 10 other people trying to pull you down because you're progressing, you cannot accomplish the main mission.
Right.
So in spite of all those qualities you mentioned, we are still way behind the men's club.
But I think the society, over the years has done that to us too. So we are, taking little baby steps, but I think we are getting there. And I think we will in one day reach that position where we will be leading the world.
Well, we would love to do that, at least not in this generation, but the future generation, because we cannot see all our children, the girls all across the world, facing the same issue and standing at the same, but I can only speak that what are we lacking? And unity is we are lacking as a woman. And if we were united, I don't think nothing, it's like a village, you help each other. In a village, you see the girl, in the rural villages, you see how the women come together. They help you with the children, they help you with cooking, they help you do the farm. The same mentality, if we bring it to urban civilization, and we think better, we become less insecure, we become confident, we can unite. I think there are certain things lacking in a woman, that is backbiting, bringing somebody down if somebody is coming up, so whatever you call them, but all this is the birth of insecurity, the seed of insecurity.
It definitely is, and people, unfortunately, I've seen people lie, women lie to each other for why? Why
Yes.
do that? And then you get caught.
Yes.
Why would you like to do something like that? Because you're insecure.
Yes.
Because the bottom line is that person is so insecure that they have to lie to make you like them.
Or dislike you.
Or dislike you, yeah.
Very good point. It's like most of the women you see, I mean, there are not most, I would say that's a very bad generalization, I apologize. But some of the women I notice, what they do is they lie about you. Let's say I will lie about you so that your image becomes tarnished, and it becomes so bad, the rest of the people will believe that what you were. So either you can use it to your favor or against it. So this lying, but where does, like you said, I love what you said. You said lying comes from insecurity.
It does. It definitely, because you can see that the person is so insecure that they have to make up lies about you or about anyone else. And why do that? Like, who are they harming? They're harming themselves.
Yes, you're
at
right.
The end of at the end of the road, they're harming themselves and no one else.
I so agree. You spoke so well, because when any woman is lying, is insecure, is without confidence, then you are actually destroying your own self.
Yeah, and no one else, because you are destroying yourself. And in fact, you're destroying yourself little by little. It's eating you up. Because when that happens, when that person, it's like they have no confidence left.
No.
And they have nothing to share with the world. When you have nothing to share, and when you are, because you lie so much, you get caught up in your own lies that you don't know what's right and what's wrong.
Exactly. That's what I was reading about this, the insecurity, the lie. And they say that after a while, when you've lied so much to achieve wherever you're going, you kind of become, you don't know what's right, doesn't know what's wrong, and you think whatever you say is right. But that's how you burn bridges, because when you're building a bridge with lies, that bridge is going to fail. And at the end, nobody will fail. It's you as an individual is going to fail.
Because you have burned so many bridges, you've hurt so many people behind you that you have nothing to fall back on. Like even now, to this day, you or me, we can go back to our friends like 20 years, 30 years ago, and still talk to them, and still, talk to them, and as, if nothing's happened, like, even though we haven't met them and stuff. Because why? Because they know that we're not like that.
And we are women.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not that, I mean, we are talking about unity, we are talking about the insecurities, we are talking about why we cannot achieve our goals. But, to be honest with you, you're so right. We are women, and you will not believe we have friendship, about I think 4 or 5 of us, 20 years. And we have to say that we are from all different parts of the globe. So it's not that we are all Americans, all Europeans, all Middle Eastern, all South Americans. We have a nice mixture of all around the globe, and we are so in love with each other, and so
with different cultures,
we are
because
different
we embrace it, we welcome it, we treasure it.
We treasure it. And all these friends of ours that we share for 20 years, all these friends stand by each other when there is a real need. I mean, real need. So one of our friends mentioned that even if the marriages don't last, our friendship lasts. But that's called unity.
It is. It really
and
is.
we've seen the worst. We've
Yes.
seen the best.
Yes.
We were just talking before the show that what all we have done as young, growing up. But, that's the fun of it. We reared children together. We were not just like housewives, but we were doing all kinds of activities, and good and bad. It was fun life. We enjoyed. There's no regret. Whenever someone needs a mission, we all come together and we're off for a mission. Our show here, when I was starting this Faces of South Asia, I called Soph because we know each other. I think 20 next year is going to be 21 years, or
Right.
it is 20, yes,
Yes,
2021 years. And I said, Sophie, we speak for an hour, 2 hours on the phone. How about we co-host a show? This way we can bring out all that we say on the show.
It's going to be 21 years this year.
See, I told you.
Yeah, it's going to be 21 year.
And we are women.
Yeah.
So
and we had little kids when we started, and we used to go for mothers and children's, go to the library together, and it's been a lot of fun.
So much fun, and fun does not have to do with status or money or charm or anything. We just got all of us together, whether we are swimming, we are in the beach, or whether we are shopping, story time.
We used to get our kids here to Quincy for story time. Right here. It was
Christmas, and we celebrated each other's birthday parties, each other's cultures, each other's tradition. That's how I learned so much of different cultures. You learned so much of other cultures. There were wars going on in Middle East when we had the countries who were in war, friends of both sides, and we were happy.
We were quite happy because I think we were happy with each other, and that makes it a go a long way. Because when you are friends with people and you understand them, you know that they're not coming from that kind of mentality, and you have the same kind of makeup, the same kind of well-being for each other and love for each other, and that's what helps. And I think if we, as women, love and want to be united, that's the main thing to do.
And if we have achieved it, I don't see why this cannot be, but this has not been, acknowledged. This has not been addressed. But this is something that has been on my mind for a long time, that if we have achieved, and if we need help, when I needed help to co-host this show, who did I call? I called my 20-year-old friend, and we co-hosted this show. So it's more like a support, There are times we are not, we are down, up, but if you have real friends, or you have a real unity, you're united together, you will progress. Because the other day, if I wasn't feeling well when you were in Morocco, then a friend of mine called and said, "Oh, come on, get over it. We have to do this. We have to do that." Pushed me, and I was feeling great. The next morning, she made sure to call, say, "Are you okay?" Fabulous. And she started laughing.
And it does. It does help a lot. I mean, if you have that kind of I can call anybody all over the world, and I can talk to anybody, and it makes such a difference, because you know what, you're not in competition with anybody. You just want to be friends. You just want to have a little chit chat. That's all you want, little tea, little chit chat.
And that little chit chat that we started from, that little chit chat of 20 years ago, going to be 21, brought us to have startup companies, brought us to host media shows, brought us for fundraising, internationally and nationally, where government was involved. It all started from the chit chat. but how united we were, that we didn't care if you're going for a, it happened this way. If you were going for a fundraiser and we didn't have a babysat, we took care of your children. If I was going, you took care of our
we did.
children.
Oh, yes.
So that's called unity, is we didn't stop ourselves from going to the mission because there were other friends of ours who were helping, supporting, while we could keep walking the steps to achieve wherever we are achieving. So it was so much fun, and I hope that all the women across the globe and in this community too, whichever culture, whichever race, whatever religion, please be united. Every time you're united and you speak about unity, you can achieve everything that's on your mind. It can be in your workforce, it can be at home, it can be at a fundraiser, or it can be in the children's play group, school. Be united. And I hope women are united, and we are looking for a wonderful woman all-together group to achieve unity in probably even in the next election.
That's right. It's gonna be exciting. It's
Very.
gonna be, yes.
I'm
And
looking
looking forward.
forward.
So am I. I'm really looking forward to it. And let's see. I mean, we can be the change, and hopefully you can be the change and be united. And I think we need to overcome our shortcomings. Not everybody's perfect, and I think that's the main thing.
You're right. Yeah, you have to.
We have to acknowledge that no one's perfect in this world, and what we can do to help each other, and that makes us united.
So, hope you liked our show. It's a topic that has never been discussed, never been addressed, but we wanted to bring it out, and we loved it. I'm sure you loved it, and we'll see you again next time. Isha from Faces of South Asia.
And this is So from Faces of South Asia. See you next time. Bye-bye.